All right, welcome to Yada Yada episode 3. This is a
Impromptu.
special impromptu. Yes, this is a very special episode. I'm your co-host Books Pennington. Here with me, as always, is my co-host and owner of Tall Guy Lawn Care himself, Mr. Ty Bryant. How's it going?
Yada yada. The official podcast of Tall Guy Lawn Care.
That's right.
Hit us up on Facebook.
And for the first time ever here on the Yada Yada podcast, we have a special guest, a fellow MFFL question mark.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Mr. Trevor Payne, how's it going?
Yes, let's go.
I am good, gentlemen. How are you doing? I'm honored.
I'm pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, I've what a roller coaster this last few months has been as a Mavs fan for life / Mavs fan for Luka.
Yeah. Luca fan for life for sure.
All right, you want to just get right into the main topic?
Yeah, let's jump right in. We usually have other things to talk about, current events, and we were going to do our Desert Island TV shows. I think was on the schedule
That was this week.
for this episode, but plans have changed because our lives have changed in a good way. The 2025 NBA draft lottery was last night, and with a 1.8% chance, I believe, the Dallas Mavericks have secured the number one pick for the first time in franchise history. Also moved up in the lottery for the first time in franchise history. And so that's the topic for tonight. We might yada yada all the way to the 2-hour limit that we didn't know existed until last episode. So it might get a little rambly, it might get a little yada yada, but that's the point of the podcast. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen if you don't want to. This is just for funsies anyway. So I've got some questions I have written down, and I shared those with y'all earlier that I want to know y'all's thoughts on. I've got my thoughts, and I kind of want to know y'all's, and if you have anything else, just jump in. First question, probably the biggest one, the most popular one as of right now. Was it rigged? Was it rigged last night in the favor of the Dallas Mavericks and basically the non-favor of every other team?
Books,
All
you want
signs
to
point
go?
to yes.
Yeah, I mean,
All signs point to yes. Okay.
I mean, also that it's. I mean, okay. There's too much. Did y'all see Nico Harrison's reaction in the like him and his gang
His
in the
clique.
room? Did y'all see?
yeah.
Did y'all see
Yeah.
that reaction?
His yes man.
Yes, his yes men. The only thing I'll say that doesn't support that it was rigged, other than the fact that the Mavs had to, I mean, our players had to, AD and Kyrie both had to get hurt for this to happen, is that their reaction
Not just
did
hurt
look
though,
pretty genuine.
like ACL tear and almost
like-
ripping your abdominal from your structure. I mean, they're freak injuries.
Yeah.
Now, we had a crappy medical staff, but still, I mean, there's no way they were anticipating those. So,
Yeah.
No, I agree. Keep going.
well, I mean, I'm kind of with you. There's no way that 12 people in a room can act that surprised on something like that. And me personally, and I was listening to another podcast called The Dumb Zone, which if you guys don't listen to that, you should. It's hilarious. They were talking about they think it's rigged, but in the sense of Nico was such an idiot, and they didn't anticipate maybe a Cowboys mainstay. That's the predominant fan base in Dallas to react this way to a player of Luka's caliber being traded. That they stepped in and were like, well, we can't lose the fourth largest media market that's out there. And, we weren't planning on doing this, but, here we are. And that's the kind of one that I want to believe. But, I mean, at the same time, you watch the video of them choosing the ping pong balls. You listen to like Zach Lowe talk about it. It's just, I don't know. It feels too WWE to not be fake, though. It's just such a cognitive dissonance going on in my mind right now.
I'm the same way. I heard some other people say the same stuff, that if Kyrie didn't have those freak injuries, and if they didn't, then there's a good chance they're playing tonight. Like they're still in the playoffs if they're both healthy, in my opinion. Like as much as we hated the trade and we want Luka, like that's a pretty good roster that the Mavs have when healthy. And so if they are healthy, they're in the playoffs. And because of what happened, I think, and I think this is kind of what you were alluding to, Trevor, I think the NBA higher-ups decided we got to get them back to where they were, because the fourth highest TV market, because the loss of ticket sales, because the loss of merchandise. It all boils back down to money in the NBA and ratings and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think.
Sorry, and to be fair, like Nico's not wrong in the sense of like if that first half of that Rockets game, I kind of severed myself, for lack of a better term. Like I was like, hey, I'm having fun being a Mavs fan. I've never seen a player as athletic as AD. But then when he gets hurt and everything goes to crap, and you've got 7 healthy guys and 3 of them are your 3-way players.
Right.
The stuck between a rock and a hard place, it gets easy to, misery loves company. It made it so much worse.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it was rigged. I think the majority of NBA fans, anybody that follows the NBA, thinks it was rigged. That being said, I am okay with it. I'm okay that it was rigged because it benefits us as Mavs fans. It benefits the organization. And nothing can convince me. I watched like a 15-minute video on Twitter with the ping pong balls and how they go about the draft lottery and all the combinations that can happen, and it just so happened to be Dallas's comment. Whatever. You can post all the videos you want. You can give out all the statements and do all this stuff. Unless I'm watching in person what's going on, I'm not going to believe that it wasn't rigged. And I think the majority of NBA fans are the same way right now.
Because what an insane coincidence.
Yeah, like, come on.
I mean, you could turn that script into Hollywood and say, hey, we're going to trade this guy, but don't worry, we're going to also get a Hall of Famer, which AD is, and 3 months later you'll get the first pick in the draft of if it was last year we'd be like, oh great, what does Sar Ricochet do for us? But Cooper Flagg is he might be not the number one guy, but he is somebody that you can cornerstone and at least sell and give hope to your fan base.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Four college freshmen have won National Player of the Year. Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson, Cooper Flagg.
Nobody from North Carolina?
You put Cooper Flagg, nobody from North Carolina. No. You put Cooper Flagg in the conversation with those 3 names. Like Zion's kind of had his ups and downs to start his career, and he has his own issues.
But coming out of the gate, he was.
Yeah, you put him with Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis, like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah,
like I'm okay with that. And he had the Olympic practice or whatever against the Olympic team, and he was like dominating, or not dominating, but he had some pretty good highlights against them. Like that was pretty exciting. So I don't know.
He's not 19 until December. Like we will get through 25% of the season with him being 18.
Saw he was younger.
He's a senior in high school.
Luka was when we drafted Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was playing in March Madness actually as a senior in high school. He just was way too good and reclassified. So 18 years old, probably get drafted when he's 18. Like that's just I can live with that. It makes me feel better. It made me put on my Mavs hat. It made me put on my Mavs pullover for the first time since the Luka trade. So, all right, next question. one of the questions was, do we think the trade is separate or part of the deal? It sounds like we're kind of on the thing of the trade was separate. And because of what happened after the trade, they gave the Mavs the number 1 pick.
The response to the fallout.
Yeah, I'm with Books on that one. There's, I mean, and kind of you said it too, Ty. Especially with watching. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my consumption of the NBA has mostly been on Twitter or social media. Like, I have not watched a full playoff game unless I've had to with like my father-in-law, and you know, it just seems like the West was open again. And honestly, even with the team that Nico has, who's to say they're not at least in the conference finals versus the Thunder? Now, I think the Thunder win that just because they have a lot more perimeter guys, and you know, Kyrie was kind of silent last year, but without anybody besides Luka to help kind of alleviate that pressure valve from Kyrie, it would have been tough for him. So
yeah. All right. So next question: if we think this year was rigged, and I've got some stats to answer to this question. If we think this year was rigged, how often do you think the NBA does rig it? Just the lottery in general, not anything else. That's a whole different discussion. Just the lottery in general. How often do you think the NBA has rigged or does rig the draft lottery?
You know, I thought, like, when this first happened, the immediate two that came to mind were Patrick Ewing and LeBron James. But then, you know, after thinking about it a little bit more, there's arguments for much more. I mean, you have the Bulls were only supposed to have 1.7% chance to get Derrick Rose, a hometown guy. Oh, that's very storybook too. You've got the Cavaliers getting 3 number 1 picks, I think, after LeBron left. That was Kyrie, Anthony Bennett, and would have been Andrew Wiggins.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
in a span of like 4 years.
3
number 1 picks in a span of 4 years.
But now I don't know why they did that unless it was. That one's probably a little bit more of a stretch, but that's still odd that they had that many. I mean, there are teams like the Mavericks, like you said, like they have picked number 1 overall before, but that was back when they were an expansion team, right? So right. Since '85, they haven't moved up or picked number 1 other than the expansion. So the fact that a team like the Cavs had that is crazy to me, but you could stretch it out a lot as far as how many have been rigged.
So I've got some statistics to back it up. So 85 was the first one that came to mind. Patrick Ewing, the first year of the NBA draft lottery. Back then, every team that was in the lottery had the same chance. They had the same amount, like it was just 1 envelope per team, basically. So they had a 1 in 7 chance back then to get the number 1 pick, and they got it. Now there's the frozen envelope theory that they froze the envelope, and David Stern had to feel around for the frozen envelope, or it had the bent corner on it, and he had to find the bent corner. So that was the first one that came to mind. That was the first ever lottery. So that would have been very easy to rig because nobody really knew what it was, nobody knew how it worked, things like that. The next one was Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose. They had a 1.7% chance to get the number 1 pick. That was 9th, and their pre-lottery position was 9th. So they jumped from 9 to 1. And it just so happens...
Sorry, was that 2011 that was? Was that the year?
2008.
2008. Oh, wow.
2008, yeah. And it just so happens that the Chicago Bulls get to draft a Chicago boy in Derrick Rose, who at that time was going to be the number 1 pick because he was by far the best player in that draft. So there's 2. The next one was the 2011 Cleveland Cavaliers. So right after LeBron leaves, all of a sudden the Cavs get the number 1 pick. And they got that pick from the Clippers, which was a trade, and it had all the behind the scenes stuff. But the Cavs ended up getting 3 out of 4 of the next number 1 picks, drafting, like you said, Kyrie, Andrew Wiggins, and Anthony Bennett. Why? I don't really know why either. So that one's maybe a little bit harder to argue for the rigging. Other than in 2014, they had a 1.7% chance to get the number one pick. And they jumped like the Bulls did. They jumped from 9th to 1st that year as well. So, and then the last one that was brought up was the New Orleans Pelicans. Anthony Davis gets traded / leaves / requests a trade, stops playing because he doesn't want to play in New Orleans anymore. Basically throws a hissy fit and says, I'm not going to play here anymore. So they trade him, and they get the number one pick the year after that and draft Zion. They had a 6% chance, which is much higher than any of these other ones. But at the time, that was 7th. That was the 7th best odds in the draft. So there's a few out there that are sketchy for sure. But I just think this is the one thing that the NBA has complete control over. They can't. There's people who say they rigged the games, and there's, the 06 finals obviously comes to mind, but like, you can't do it so obviously. You have to do it kind of subtly, and it's very difficult. But I think the one thing that the NBA has complete control over, they can't rig, people getting injured. They can't rig the games just blatantly. They can't control trades, I don't think, because you got to get the owners on board, and players might have a no trade clause and contracts and all that. So I think more often than not, I truly think more often than not, the NBA lottery is rigged. 8 times, last stat here, 8 times. So we've had 40 years of the NBA lottery. 1985 was the first year. Out of those 40 years, only 8 of the ones that had the best chance, the highest odds to get the number one pick, only 8 of them have actually gotten the number one pick. So more times than not, the team that doesn't have the highest odds gets the number one pick.
And I think that's kind of their point, though. Obviously tanking has really only been around since the trusted process, at least the hardcore form of it. I think that's their stance on it, though. They don't always want the worst team to get the best player.
Isn't that why they recently reworked the rules?
Yes, that was the intent of that rule.
Yeah.
And I think they.
And it's hard to say only 8 because of that, because they have changed the rules over the years.
Yeah, well, but it's only been since 2019 since that's happened. But even then, then the 3 teams with the best odds, which is 14%, I believe, have still yet to be number one overall since 2019. So what is that, like, coming on? That would have been, this is the 6th year of it. Yeah. So, but in 40 years, too, that's just still such a small sample size. But I'm just logically what you're saying, it seems like we don't have enough data, but when just your heart and your gut say there's too many times that perfect situations happen to where you can just chalk it up to being statistical randomization.
Yeah.
And you could even throw in, on your examples after Chris Paul got traded from the Hornets to the Clippers, who got drafted number 1 overall to the Hornets, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like, hey, somebody buy this team. If you trade Chris Paul because he's unhappy, we'll reward you with a 1st overall pick, which so happened to be Anthony Davis. But
which it worked.
Yeah, and if I were in the league office too, I would almost step in my opinion, and make sure the Mavericks didn't get the pick because of this whole conversation that we are having right now, and all of Twitter, everybody's saying that this is rigged. It's almost worse that they got
that. That's what I was thinking too. Like, I could maybe understand, like, we jump into the top 10, we fall to 5, like even 2, but like number 1, like, we cannot let Dallas get the number 1 pick, because everybody is going to be talking about how it's rigged and how the NBA is a fraud and all of this. But obviously, they don't care what we think, and I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like,
I am a-okay.
It's going to put butts back in seats.
Yeah,
DFW.
it's going to sell more tickets. It's going to make
I
more
mean,
money.
I believe
it's going to get more people talking about it.
I believe McMahon's reporting 100% when he said the estimation of this debacle was going to be 9-figure losses, whether that's ticket revenue, merchandise, sponsorships. I mean, it got Dumont's attention, which, hey, good on the fan base, because it's easy to say these things but still watch, which, I mean, admittedly, I watched a little bit more than I wanted to, but it's just, all three of us have been Mavs fans forever. I mean, if anything, when I'm 4 years old, my first two questions to you are, do you like Dirk / the Mavs, and do you like Star Wars? Like, those were my main two talking points to being friends with people. Like, it's just so ingrained in, our identities that having that situation, it was just awful. And you're right, like it gives us a chance to have a guy again and not have like a mercenary. Like, one of the greatest things about being a Mavs fan, in my opinion, is that, we are pretty much, well, at least my life, I was born in 97, has always been, like, for the longest time, it was always Dirk. Like, it was a unique experience to be able to have a superstar to grow up with. And then, you have the baton passed with Luka. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted it to. But, at 27, it's a little different being excited about an 18-year-old. But at least, if we climb the mountaintop with this guy, it's our guy. Like, it was not, we had to trade or sign him in free agency. It really does feel like such a dramatic shift that I did not see coming whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's turned into a second chance. It's like we still might be able to get, like, yes, we have AD, who we traded for. We picked up Kyrie, traded for Kyrie. We got Clay. Like, those aren't hometown guys like Luka was. But we get a second chance to maybe have this hometown guy. We still have Lively, who, like, is also a Duke guy, who also is a draft pick. Like, so it feels like almost a second chance that hey, you really screwed this first one up, and you got this. Even though he's a generational talent, like, it wasn't just that he was a generational talent. It was the fact that he's been here, and it's only here, and he loved being here, and we loved him being here, because that's what we were used to. Like you said, that's like, even our parents. Like, even my parents, they grew up with Dirk, basically. Mm-hmm. They were our age. Like, we're in the same position they were in then. Like, we're about to draft a generational talent in Cooper Flagg. They drafted Dirk, in that time, in that same age period, and then they went through their entire adult life with him. Like, they almost don't remember the Rolando Blackmans and the people before Dirk, because, Dirk is the Mavs. Mm-hmm. And so now it maybe feels like it felt like Luka was going to be the Mavs, and now, okay, maybe we're getting a second chance here. Maybe Flagg can become our guy. Flagg can be the Mavs. Hopefully, because you're right. That's what Dallas is built on. Dallas is built on, we want our guy. We want him to be homegrown. We don't want this, we would love to win now, but we don't want this win now mentality of go get all these big name stars and sacrifice everything that we care about and go get a Toronto Raptors championship with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, part of the,
like, how often is that even talked about anymore?
Part of the enjoyment of being a fan is going through the highs and lows with your people. I mean, you guys know it. You played basketball. It's a lot more fun when you push through the adversity rather than, override every trade on 2K and have a team full of 95 overalls and just win it all, win 82-0 and 16-0.
You're expected to win.
Yeah, like, it's more fun when you've been through it with you guys and your guys and have the emotional connections. And to me, there's still a long way to go. I mean, I'm still, like, they've been.
So is this Nico's get out of jail free card?
No.
No,
I still want him gone tomorrow, because the first thing
yesterday.
Yeah, the first thing I did when we got it, I was like, I hope he doesn't try to trade this for some sort of Kyle Kuzma package that he wanted before PJ Washington. I mean, that's sad that they had to come out. Like 3 reporters yesterday or this morning were like, "Hey, they're not trading it." Like DeMont knows that this has been like a life raft thrown his way. But like you shouldn't have to do that. And I think it's still telling because they still need to extend an olive branch because there's going to be a lot of people that still won't come back. But they need to make sure Dirk is back in the corner of the Mavericks. Now that might take a lot longer than we want, but he still hadn't said anything about wow, the Mavericks have the number 1 overall pick. I mean, that should show you where he's at. And I mean, you just said it. Like a lot of my Mavs fandom is intertwined with Dirk. So if Big Papa, tall baller from the G's, not happy, I'm not going to be fully happy. I'm excited again. I mean, I feel some sort of hope, but I still need them to make him back in the organization somehow.
Yeah. So, talking about other years that we think it might have been rigged, might not have been rigged. The first year that it was a lottery, 1985. The president now of the Dallas Mavericks, I think he's the president, Rick Welts, the guy that came out and said that Patrick Dumont played basketball in high school, so we should trust him, and compared Luka's trade to Monte Ellis' trade.
Oh man, that made me so mad. I mean,
so that guy, he was in charge. He was one of the main people that was behind the idea of a draft lottery in 1985. So he was one of the ones that kind of came up with the idea, backed the idea, promoted the idea, and now he's involved in the Mavs, and it was maybe rigged in 1985, and now he's involved with the Mavs, and maybe it's rigged this year. So it's a little conspiracy there that Rick Wells has a lot to do with this draft lottery, and maybe rigging it, maybe not, but it's definitely a thought that some people are having. I didn't know that Rick Wells was behind the 85 draft lottery stuff, so pretty crazy there too.
I didn't know that either.
All right. So if it is rigged, so do we think Nico and Dumont and anybody in the Mavs organization knew, I don't, but knew before last night that they were going to get the number 1 pick?
I don't think so.
I mean, judging from that video in the conference room of them celebrating, it looked pretty genuine. It didn't look like scripted, like they were trying to act like they already knew, but they were still trying to look excited to hide stuff.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it was more of the league might have just kept that one to themselves. Like, we know we have to do this.
Yeah. So let's move on then to Flagg. There are reports out there already. I already knew they were going to happen. Does Flagg? Does he want to be in Dallas? There's reports out there already that are saying his agent is going to pressure the Mavs into trying to trade the pick because he doesn't want to be in Dallas. He wants to be in San Antonio, or he wants to be somewhere else. And then his interview at the draft lottery, there's a lot of fans out there that are like, man, he didn't seem very excited. They showed his face when the Mavs got the number 1 pick, and he's just kind of like sitting there. So is that? I don't follow Duke very much, but is that just the way Cooper Flagg is? Is he just a cool, calm, and collected kid? Or is he like, oh my gosh, this is the last place I want to be after the past 3 months?
Go for it, Books.
I think it's an interesting situation because on one hand he gets to play with Kyrie, he gets to play with Anthony Davis, he gets to step into a situation where he's the guy that the Dallas Mavericks fans can fall in love with, right? And I think, people around him are that are trying to be positive about this are telling him that information. Like, hey, they're gonna fall in love with you just like they did with Luka, right? Then again, he's stepping into, a shit show with ownership and with a GM that has broken, loyalty to players. So, obviously that will put some hesitancy in your mind to want to go play for that guy. So.
And I think too, I think we became, I think we probably realize, but I don't think everybody realizes how important Dirk was to Luka. They played together for a few years. Dirk was still around after he retired. Like, having Dirk there in Luka's ear saying exactly what you said. They fell in love with me. I've been here 20 years. They're going to support you. They love you. Loyalty, blah, blah, blah. Like, having Dirk in his ear, I think, helped Luka. I don't think anybody in the Mavs organization can say those things to Flagg.
Dwight Powell, baby.
The way Dirk can say it to Luka. Like, Dwight Powell's our longest tenured guy with the freaking Rondo trade, and he's got more job security than Luka Doncic. Dwight Powell has more job security than Luka Doncic.
Mr. Hustle, take a patino off.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope he wants to be in Dallas. That's always the thing you worry about, and it's gotten less and less common. I think the LeBron era of athletes demanding trades and wanting out is kind of dwindling away a little bit. I think loyalty is becoming a little bit more important.
Yeah, and what's the option really? Like, hey, I'll go back to Duke for another season. I mean, is that the only
Yeah, I think he still can.
Yeah.
It's past the deadline, I'm pretty sure.
It's past. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he can do what NBA stars have done. Like, you can draft me, but I'm not playing. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna want to trade me.
I've seen,
and I don't. Like I'm saying, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've seen,
at least like this year.
I've seen some of those tweets you're talking about, or people say, "Hey, I've heard he'll hold out," or "I've heard he wants to go to the Spurs so bad, so there might be like an under the table deal between the Spurs and the Mavs." Those people saying those things have like 1,000 followers, and not to say that they might not be hearing something and this is their big breakout, but I feel like we would have heard. Yeah, it's still pretty fresh, but I feel like we would have heard something from a prominent account at this point. I think he was stoic because that's probably what he's been trained to do. He really seems to, and I haven't watched as much Duke basketball than I've been at Oklahoma State, but he seems to be a lot more emotional on the floor than he is outside. Now, even say that he's still very controlled. Like, I'm not talking Luka levels of emotional, which was one of the things I loved, and also one of the things I couldn't stand about him. Because when it's high, it's high. When it's low, it's like, come on, man, just. Yeah. But to me, it's still a good situation. Like, if we were talking about, hey, the Hornets have the number 1 pick, but the Spurs have number 2, like, he might try to, finagle a trade there. I could understand that, because why would you want to go play in Charlotte? I still think Dallas. I hate the 2 timeline theory, to be honest with you, because I think the Warriors screwed it up big time. But it kind of is that in this situation. Like, by the time, ideally, AD and Kyrie are gone, you're past that point to where you don't control your picks, and then, Flagg is 24, 25, and you have that chest full again, and he's surrounded by 3 Hall of Famers. And I don't know who his agent is, but, we have a lot of Clutch clients on our team now, and Clutch kind of runs the NBA as far as players go. So I think that counts for something as well, as much as I can't stand that. But
well, and I think, too, there's a video resurfacing from March Madness of Derek Lively in the Duke locker room interviewing Cooper Flagg and them joking around and them laughing. I think that'll help a lot. And Kyrie's a Duke guy, too.
That's the first thing John Shire said.
I think both of those things are going to be big. Yeah, I saw that, too. John Shire said, the first thing I thought it was he gets to play with White.
And they would have been great combo in college. I mean, I think the reason he was acting that way when the camera panned to him and, we find out the Mavs have it. I mean, because even John Shire said in his interview, he goes, we never talked about Dallas because, 1.8%. Why are you talking about that? Like, you probably need to get mentally ready to be a Washington Wizard or a Utah Jazz, Right. And those questions that Kendrick Perkins, who is insane that he has a platform, is asking. I mean, he's trying to, he's asking him, how does it feel to be a Maverick? How is he supposed to answer that without
Right.
somebody taking that as, oh, he didn't really say I'm excited, so he doesn't want to be there,
Yeah.
or, oh, he said he's excited to be there. He's so cocky that he already assumes he's going to be the number one pick. I mean, keyboard warriors nowadays are always going to find something to complain about. So, I think we're flagged up. Raise the flag.
Yeah. I think he, like you said, he doesn't really know yet. I think once he gets around the Liveleys and the Kyries, Kyrie has changed so much in the past 2 years. Like, look what he did with Luka. Like, he took Luka under his wing and was like, mi hermano. Like, he's going to be mi padre with freaking Flagg.
No
He's
kidding.
going to be poppy with him. Like, I think he's going to take him under his wing and show him the ropes of the NBA. And I think Lively and him will be best friends on the court, off the court. Now, obviously, I want to play. I want to be optimistic about it. I'm not going to say, no, he doesn't want to be there. Him and Kyrie are going to hate each other. They're going to hate playing with Lively, and he's going to request a trade after 1 year. Like, obviously, I'm going to be hopeful. But that is always something in the back of your mind. When you go to buy a Luka jersey, like, oh, is he going to request a trade in a year and I'm going to regret buying this? Or do I go buy a Flagg jersey, or is he going to want out in 2 years? So it is always in the back of your mind just because you've seen it before. Obviously, like Kevin Durant and superstars like that have kind of just turned heel basically and wanted out. So that was a question I had, if he even wanted to be in Dallas. And I'm sure more reports will come out in the next however long until the draft, and more things will pop up on the Twitter feed.
Yeah, I mean, you know how ESPN is nowadays. It's all for clicks. That's why Kendrick Perkins is employed. It's why Stephen A. Smith is the highest paid person there. It's why Jay Williams is all of a sudden turning into that as well. I mean, he's like, yeah, they should trade it for Tyrese Maxey or Devin Booker.
Yeah, are you idiot?
I mean, Cooper Flagg, first off, if that were the case, straight up, no thank you. I'd rather have the new shiny toy. I know those guys aren't the dudes. Like, they're really good players, but there's no hope, in my opinion, to build around those guys. Cooper Flagg's going to make $13 million for the next 4 years. He's the best asset in the NBA right now. If you wanted to, and people saying trade for Giannis too. Giannis is making like $56 million, so you would have to include either half of your depth, which is one of the things that kept the Mavericks afloat for as long as it did, or AD or Kyrie. That hurts your team. No.
Happen.
So, yeah.
Well, hopefully he does. So if you had the power to pull the strings, make the decisions, if you were Patrick Dumont, I'll tell you what I would do. If I'm Patrick Dumont, I try 3 things. 2 I can control. Okay, but I try 3 things. 1, I fire Nico yesterday. As soon as the draft pick comes out, Nico, we got a second chance. You screwed us this first time. You tricked me, basically, because I think Patrick Dumont looked in the mirror a little bit and realized, oh, maybe I don't know as much about
maybe he does. Maybe
game.
Nico should, maybe this shouldn't be a one-all, be-all. He's the smartest person.
Exactly.
Maybe.
So I fire him immediately, and I reach out to Cubes and ask him to be the general manager. I asked Mark Cuban if he wants to be the general manager again. And then I walk up to Rob Pelinka, call Rob Pelinka, and say, never mind. Do you want Cooper Flagg? Do you want the number 1 pick? Give us Luka back and let bygones be bygones. Now, 2 of those, well, really just 1, I can fire Nico. I don't know if Mark Cuban would say yes. I don't think he would, based on what he's said in the past about wanting more time and stuff. And I don't – if I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm not saying yes, because I know what Luka is. I don't know what Flagg's going to be. He's an 18-year-old kid. What if he tears his ACL? What if he ruptures his Achilles? What if he doesn't – now, oh, I made it. I'm in the NBA. I don't have to work as hard. Those recruits and prospects that never pan out. Yeah, Benson, those kind of people. I don't think Flagg is that way, but – I would rather have Luka than Cooper Flagg. Like I texted y'all the other day. You know who's better than Cooper Flagg? Luka. And I'd take Luka over anybody in the NBA right now, to be honest. And so I think if I was Patrick Dumont, I would for sure fire Nico. Mark Cuban would be my first choice at general manager. Get Dirk obviously involved back in some way, and then try to get Luka back with the number 1 pick. But no doubt about you've got to fire Nico.
I agree with that first one. I think you allow Mark back in the room for decision making. I don't necessarily think he should be the GM because he never was. I mean, as much as we thought he was, I mean, he did have the end-all be-all say, but like Donnie still did things or didn't do things and got lazy.
Yeah, right.
But man, I love Luka too. Like I was depressed for a long
It really made me like I had to look in the like sit down and really think like, why does this sports team?
Yeah, why, they don't
so
know I
much?
exist.
Like,
why should it affect me this way?
I gotta stop basing my life around this basketball team.
I'm the same way,
and that hasn't really worked because
Nope.
now I'm in a joyous mood and
I know.
was thrilled out of my mind last night. But still, like, dude, it's a sport, it's a game, and half of it's rigged.
Yes, yes.
Even if you have the best players, it might not work out in your favor.
With that being said, though, I don't know if you could trade the number 1 pick and Anthony Davis back for Luka.
No, I'm not trading AD as well.
Well, but okay, so then you're just saying the salary cap doesn't exist in this world for you.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, then yes, I would do that in a heartbeat as well. But yeah,
if I could,
I
think
knowing what I know now, if you tell me, hey, you get AD, Cooper Flagg, and whatever else we got, and you get off Maxey and all that, I still say F no and hang up, or I fire Nico on the spot when he brings it up. Like,
yeah,
I don't do it. However, if you were to have the mulligan chance, or not necessarily mulligan, but you could go back and the Lakers be like, hey, we'll give him back to you. You don't even have to give us our first round pick or Christie back for Flagg and AD. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's worth it.
What about would you keep AD and try to here you can have Flagg and Kyrie? Kyrie's turned into one of those Mavs that's like
he's transformed so much, man. Like he's so easy to root for. Mm-hmm. And
so would you? I mean, that's part of the Mavs. Mavs persona is those kind of guys that you want to root for and you want to go through the hard times with. But Luka and AD with Cooper Flagg?
Putting my Nico hat on, I would do that deal because Kyrie, let's face it, he's 32, 33, and he's going to be coming off an ACL tear.
Yeah.
And half of his ability is his shiftiness and ability to create space. Like, everybody's excited about next year. We still have a huge hole to fill from the creator standpoint. Now, we should be excited. I mean, Cooper Flagg is 18. But, even if Kyrie comes back next year, he's not going to be the Kyrie of old. And even if he ever gets back to, maybe 2 more years of that, it's still not going to be next year. I mean, Jamal Murray took a year and a half to recover, and he's 7 years younger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, saying it out loud, I can't believe I said it, but I feel like this is the path you're on now, and you have to move forward.
You got to go all in.
Yeah. I mean, and if you were to bring Luka back, you think he's really going to have that trust here, even with ownership?
If Nico's fired,
I think he's like F the Dumonts and FJ kid too. I really do. I think he is. Yeah. I think the only thing he cares about at this point is the fans. And probably his hermanos.
His teammates.
Yeah. But, I mean, you would have to take a rehaul of the organization. But...
Yeah, I mean, like the training staff and Dirk.
Which Nico, a month and a half ago, said that they were great. And then last week, they all got fired. Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah. Take that back.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. All right, so Mavs keep the pick. We just got to go all in with Flagg. I mean, Luka's in the past as much as we want him back. He ain't coming back, and if he does, he's not going to be all in like he was because of the moves that were made by the ownerships.
Yeah.
All right, last one then for me. What is y'all's current status as an MFFL?
I mean, I'm wearing my hat again.
Yeah, there's a step in the right direction.
I mean, that's as far as I've gone so far. Is
Yeah.
put the merch back on. I mean, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to be excited about the Mavs. You know, but there. I mean, it all comes with reservations about Nico and about ownership. And it's a love-hate, and I don't know if that will change until Nico's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to be like. I feel like if I'm Luca coming back right now, and I'm not all in, but like I'm here, and here we go. You know, so I don't know.
I mean, it's truly different being a Rangers fan, Mavs fan, and Cowboys fan. None of them are the same in my opinion. As far as like what your thoughts of are the front, like, you know, I feel like if you're a Bears fan or a Chicago fan, let's say Bears, Bulls, Cubs, you all kind of have the same gripe about your teams, like incompetence. But I didn't feel that until February. Like I always, you know, Jerry's gonna be Jerry. The Rangers seem to be committed now, but like, you know, my Mavericks were by far my first. So up until this, like I've never been afraid of somebody controlling something out of my control for, you know, like you said, a team that I have way too much emotional and time invested in. So I'm kind of with you. Like I'm back. I'm back. I'm excited because there's something to be excited about again. Because I mean, they were going to be good in the immediate future for the next, you know, well, with Kyrie hurt, next year is probably going to be rough. But the following year, they're still going to be good. But when those picks come due of, you know, 27 to the Hornets, 28 to the Thunder swap, 29 to the, I don't even know who owns it now, Brooklyn or Houston, and then 30 swap to the Spurs. Like, those were getting scary because as much as I love PJ Washington and I'm going to hate to see him go, like, he's not carrying a team out of the lottery. And, you know, how much of a gut punch is it when, like, I think it was what Damian Lillard was supposed to be a Brooklyn Nets pick, but was traded to the Blazers for Gerald Wallace. And then you're like, oh, well, we could have had Damian Lillard to build around, but thank God we had 1 year of Gerald Wallace with 38-year-old Kevin Garnett. I mean, like, that was what we were looking at. So I'm never going to have the same trust again. I feel like I got cheated on. But I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to get hurt again.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
it's I've tried.
I think what y'all said though is like, I want to be invested again.
Yeah.
I want to wear my Mavs stuff. I want to put my hat on. I want to watch them and root for them. It's just.
I want to watch the NBA. Like I want to listen to the podcasts. Like I have too much of my like, you know, hey, I'm gonna listen to this while I mow or while I'm doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Watch the background of the game. Like I've restarted watching Lost because I'm like, oh, well, I'm not watching any sports. Like,
yeah, I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, it's such a hole when you build a lot of your personality around it and just.
I think this summer it might make or break. Like, I know they're all saying, yeah, we'll keep the pick, but we thought Luka was safe too. I mean, we never know.
I think Dumont has heard. I think Dumont has heard the people though, and is like very much. Yeah. I still think he's an idiot. Don't get me wrong, but I think he realized money talks. So when you're facing losing 9 figures, hey, even if we don't know if it's the right move, let's keep the fans happy because they kind of supply our revenue.
Hobby?
Yeah.
It's a hobby for him.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he wouldn't even watch the lottery.
He treated the Mavs as a fantasy team.
Yeah, poorly run. I would love to be in the league with him because he does not know how to run his team.
Yeah, I'd win that fantasy league easy.
I'm kidding.
So, I mean, I'm still unsure. I think I'm back to wearing my Mavs stuff. Wearing my now it's kind of baseball season now, so I'm more wearing Rangers stuff right now. But
see, I think I wear my Mavs hat like around the house, like, going out in public.
I don't want people to
I'm
know.
still not sure about going out.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys
I
have
don't care if my wife knows, but I don't.
you guys have it
Yeah.
easy though. You live in the Metroplex area or in Texas. I'm up here in freaking Oklahoma, where all these damn Thunder fans just talk about an entitled
I almost
fan base. Like
I almost converted back in February. It's like, all right,
I,
it's the Thunder or the Spurs, and I couldn't do.
I couldn't
Couldn't
do
do
it
either.
either, man. Like
I
my
couldn't
father
do
was like,
either
"Hey,
of
don't
them.
want to blame you. Like your team just did something impressive." And I go, "I know, but I can't stand Russell Westbrook."
Yeah. I can't. I just the Thunder in general. I don't agree with their philosophy of the draft picks and the young talent and the. I don't think it's. Now I could be wrong in a month, but I don't think it's going to pan out for
I
us
don't,
because
but with the Cavs going down, I'm kind of scared. Like Shea's a really good player. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
But it's such a double standard, and I'm like he flops and flails and foul baits worse than anybody I've seen. Put Dwayne Wade,
yeah,
Damian Lillard, James Harden, Luka into one with Manu Ginobili, and that's what Shea does. But he doesn't get that scrutiny because he doesn't complain to the refs as much emotionally as Luka did, and that just wears me out. Like they're closer than I would like them to be in talent or liked them to be, but I mean it's still like you can't be that hypocritical. And a lot of them are OU fans too, and OU fans are just so annoying. Like, and the Thunder have never been like when they're bad. It was like for 2 years max. Like they
They
inherited
had Russell Westbrook, who was averaging a triple double.
they inherited 3 MVPs or drafted them.
Yeah.
And lost one by one, and then
Right.
one bad year, and then they had Shea to start building around. I mean, and they think they've been
Yeah.
through, what is it? When Moses is leading the people out of Egypt and can't find the promised land. Like, they think that's. I'm like, no, you
Yeah.
have not been through that yet.
Yeah. You just wait till your owner trades Shea.
Yeah,
and then you can maybe talk
I had
to
a-
us because it's still
I had a
not as
coworker say, "I think Kevin Durant leaving's worse." I'm like, no, it's not. At least you still had an MVP player and a team to cheer for. Your team didn't.
bad.
kick,
That's exactly what I said.
your team did not kick out the guy. The guy left.
Right.
Like, at least you can still all
Right.
rally as a community. And at this point, we're like, where do we
Yeah.
go? Do we join the Spurs, who we hate? Do we join
Yeah.
the Thunder that we are kind of, I guess, jealous or?
Right, like
Yeah.
we had to direct our hate back on the franchise, back on the people that are
Yeah,
still there.
like I can't be like F Kevin Durant or F Luka. It's like
Right.
F
Yeah.
Nico, like, and they don't even know I exist.
But that's exactly what I remember saying. Like, I would have much rather Luka just up and left.
Yes.
Because then I can hate Luka and I can still love the Mavs and rally around the Mavs. But now I've got to love Luka and hate the team that he was on because, well, that's my team and I can't go root for anybody else because I've spent 25 years of my life rooting for this one team.
Mm-hmm. People,
So,
it's a lot easier to give that type of advice than really listen to it because I'm with you. Like, I'm a Luka fan, I'm a Dirk fan, but I'm a Mavs fan first. Like,
yeah.
and it's just that's what I've learned. Like, I've always thought maybe I could be like I like players that's never played for the Mavericks, but I can't do it. I have to have the laundry. It's just kind of how I am as a person. Loyalty never fades
Yeah.
away.
That's what I've learned. Like, I thought the same thing. Like, back when the Mavs were awful and, like,
OJ Mayo,
Williams
baby.
was our best player. Yeah, OJ Mayo and Monte Ellis were our best players.
Too much
And
Monte.
Dirk was on the decline. Zaza Pachulia almost became an all-star one year.
Oh man, we almost had the whole country of Georgia.
Yeah, like back then, I was still a Mavs guy, and they were still my team, but I was rooting for LeBron,
Yeah.
and I wanted the Warriors to lose, and so I thought, like, all right, here we go again. Like, I'm gonna have to find another player that I love to watch and argue with people about, and just wait for the Mavs to get better. Still support the Mavs and still watch them, but they're not gonna compete for a championship. But now, 3 months later, we're looking at okay, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, when everybody's healthy and Flagg has a year under his belt, who knows? Maybe at least.
So
there's hope.
Will you be a Mavs TV subscriber again?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm gonna add to my collection of merchandise and give them my money yet.
Okay.
I'll wear what I have. I won't be ashamed of being a Mavs fan. I won't feel sorry for myself anymore. But I'm not going to games yet.
You're not getting a Flagg jersey out the gate before they sell out?
I'm not buying a jersey. I'm serious. I might never buy a player's jersey.
I'm not. I'm with you because like you said, who knows? It's gonna be like a Legends jersey, or if they win a title. Like, hey, I would buy an Adolis Garcia.
A commemorative edition.
Yeah, I'd buy an Adolis Garcia jersey right now because even though he's probably not going to be a Ranger after next year, or after this year, we won a World Series with him, and he was electric in it. So, they have to win it at this point from now. It's been ruined for me.
That's exactly how I am. I'll buy Mavs gear, but I don't know if I'll ever buy, unless it's like Dirk. I might buy another Luka jersey. Who knows? I've already got 5, but that's going to be like a Shaq Magic jersey.
Yeah.
In 20 years.
Yeah, I'm ready to see the title of the 30 for 30 that the Mavericks get. Is it 77 days in hell, or what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So somebody
it's just F Nico.
Somebody put out a tweet today of what's the name of the 30 for 30. I can't. Some of them were not bad, but 77 days was one of them. And then another one was raise the flag or something like that. But it'll be interesting to see. I hope it comes out quick.
So you'll only watch.
I don't really want to watch it. I don't want to relive it. But
you'll only watch Mavs games if they're on national TV as of right now.
Yeah, even if that.
Okay.
I'll tune in. I'm gonna tune in.
You're gonna have.
I say that.
Yeah, when you have the.
I'm not gonna not watch Cooper Flagg.
I was about to say, have you seen the player comps? Now, obviously, everybody shoots high if on player comps.
Yeah, right.
But we're getting Kawhi Leonard's. We're getting Scottie Pippins.
Yeah.
Even if he's an Andre Karolinko, which I don't know if you guys remember him on the Jazz, but when Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, they were really good, but the league was different back then. So I think if Karolinko plays now, he's a multi-time All-Star. So
yeah. And I remember I told the Duke people in my life that blow up my phone when Duke's good. I told
must
them
be a lot.
Man, I hope he stays at Duke. I really wanted him to stay because I didn't want him to go to the NBA and me never watch him again because I did really enjoy watching him this year.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to go to Washington and I guess I'll never see him play again.
Yeah.
But now that he's on Dallas, I'm like, okay, he's one of the first Duke players maybe ever that I've enjoyed watching, and he hasn't flopped and he hasn't tripped people and he hasn't thrown temper tantrums and he hasn't been a little douchebag on the court. He's not your typical Duke white boy.
You're just describing one Duke player. That's Grayson Allen.
I don't know about that. old Filipowski and Grayson Allen, J.J. Redick. There's a long list of annoying white boys from Duke. But Cooper Flagg's not one of them. That's what I'm saying. I either wanted him to stay at Duke. That's what I wanted. But now that he's on Dallas, I'm like, heck yeah, go to the NBA and I can watch you. So yeah, I'll watch him. I don't know if I'll subscribe or not, but nowadays half the stuff is all on Twitter. The clips and the highlights and the things you want to see, you can find on YouTube and
10-minute highlights for Panda Hank.
Highlight clip. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if I'll subscribe to Mavs TV or not, but I'll for sure tune in because I am anxious to see Cooper Flagg in a Mavs.
And obviously, I'm happy for the fans that this happened. It gives us, rebellions are built on hope vibes. But the employees,
you deserve it.
Yes. What is he proposing? Somebody like Mark Followill, you could hear the joy in his voice.
Yeah.
Just disappear on the broadcast after. And the fact that those guys like Chuck Cooperstein, the voices we grew up with, had to just act like it was another Wednesday 7:30 p.m. tip. I don't know how they did it. Like, I genuinely don't, because like I was even depressed looking at my Excel spreadsheets at work that have nothing to do with Mav basketball. Like, so to have your job to be talking about it and act like, hey, we're still gonna compete. Like, at least there's something for them now too. So
Was this the only way to like that? Is this the only thing that could have salvaged your fandom for the Mavs? Was this like drafting, like getting the number 1 pick? Was that the only way to get you back in, other than Nico getting fired? Because that's obvious.
no,
I don't think. I think I would. I think I would have rather had the number 1 pick this year. Man, this might sound really stupid, but I really think it. I would rather have the number 1 pick this year than a championship this year.
with
I
the
would
current
rather-
team, like if AD, Kyrie, and all them, I don't think that's
Right.
stupid, because
I would rather what has happened now, them two get hurt, us get the number 1 pick. I would rather have this than them go on a run this year and win the NBA Finals.
I think I'm with you, because then that vindicates Nico, and
Right.
like we talked about earlier, like it's so much more special when it doesn't feel just thrown together like Miami Marlins or, like you said, Toronto Raptors style.
The Raptors, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I don't think this is not the only way I would have come back, Books. It would have taken a lot longer, though. Like, I got League Pass this year because I was like, well, I'm in fantasy basketball and I want to watch the Mavs. They just went on a finals run. Well, I would not have done that moving forward. I would have gone out of my way to stop being around Mavs Twitter so much during the dog days of summer. But I would have eventually probably come back just because it's ingrained in me, and I was certain that within like 2 years, if not through the halfway point of next year, that Nico would be fired. So that would have been the main thing, and then I've learned I can't give it up. Like, it's a bad addiction. Now I'm hoping I'm not as emotionally tied to it moving forward. But I'm always going to be paying attention. Kind of like I feel like our parents are probably with the Cowboys. Or at least my dad and your dad, or dads, like, they're not emotionally attached. They'll still watch, but it's like, if they win, great. If not, all right, I go to work on Monday, and it is what it is.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping that's what the Mavs become for me. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I want them to be really good, and I want to be a diehard. But it sucks when things don't go your way.
And only one
still
team
a
at the end
diehard
can be
fan.
happy. And my dad is an interesting case study on that. Like, as far as like he's been able to emotionally detach from most pro sports. I'm like, well, I'll get there one day. And then I get up here, and I've been around my father-in-law for about 7 years now, and he's just as much of a powder as I am after a bad call or a bad game, or if I say Shea flops too much, like, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, and it's like, it kind of just depends on your personality, because I was like, well, I might not outgrow it, so I mean, might as well embrace like trying to be a fan. So I'm glad there's something to kind of look forward to.
Yeah, there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel for the Mavs. And for the Mavs fans, which is much more important.
So I've actually got one question for both of you guys.
Okay.
They have a glaring hole as a ball handler right now with Kyrie out for at least, they say January. I'm saying at least February, March.
I think it depends on how well they do without him.
That's true.
Do they rush him back like they did AD?
Your guards right now are Brandon Williams, who was a two-way player last year, but was really good, and Jaden Hardy. Dante Exum's a free agent. Spencer Dinwiddie's a free agent. You could probably bring one of those guys back. Otherwise, you're going to have to make trades, and you don't have much salary cap. So if you do sign a guy, it's going to be a vet minimum contract. Who are you trading?
Trading off the Mavs?
Because Flagg, let's think about it. Flagg's a 3 and 4 primarily, about 6'9".
Yeah.
I love PJ Washington. He's probably been my favorite Maverick and like he's taken on the Dorian Finney-Smith of my Maverick role players.
Right.
Like he's a grinder, does the dirty work, and so likable. I mean, he's the 3 or 4 as well. AD says he wants to be a 5 or be a 4. So you've got 3 of your theoretically really good players as a 4. Gafford and Lively are the 5. Are you going to tell AD to play 5 more? If you do, you still have a lot of depth at front court. One of those guys is going to have to go.
I think of those 3, it would be Gafford. I mean, I would rather have Lively and AD than Gafford.
So then, if you do that, which I'm with you, you're going to have to tell AD you're going to have to play some 5.
He's going to have to play
You're going to
5.
have to do it. Like you're at a point where you're not going to always have to play the 5, but I mean, and if you're not wanting to, I wouldn't even mind us trading AD, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Who knows what we could get for him?
Like he's been a good.
That never happened.
He's been a good soldier. Like he does not deserve what has happened to him. He's always going to be overshadowed. He's a top 75 player all time, and we're treating him like he's trash, which I hate that. But I mean, we didn't want this.
He was all NBA last year.
He didn't want this, and he can't shoot. The floor spacing's terrible, and if he's not willing to at least play the 5 some more, I'm like, all right, man. Which I know books.
I would be perfectly fine with trading Anthony Davis. There's no telling what we could get for him.
But does Nico think that Anthony Davis is the best player in the NBA? That seems like the only reasonable way to explain the trade. Like he's the best player in the NBA. That's got to be the only way.
I think he had a problem with Luka's approach of I'm already fucking good. I don't need to do anything else. And I also think he had a really good relationship with AD, and that probably has blinded him to what his ceiling is as, like, can this guy carry, right? I mean, AD's a really good 82-game-a-year player if he's healthy. But when it comes to those playoff possessions, I don't know if you guys watched any of the playing games, but they had him posting up on the block with Lively or Gafford in the short roll. That thing was so clogged, and by the time he got the ball, it was where the high school three-point line is. That's how far he had to move up off of his post. It was gross basketball. And because he can't shoot threes either. I mean, he shoots them, but he's not very efficient at it. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't see. I don't know what Nico thinks.
I don't either, because like that was such an 80s version of basketball that he is wanting to play, and you have to have an offensive engine, which I think Flagg could eventually be. Not Luka by any means, but he can eventually kind of create for himself or others. But
with Kyrie hurt, is Flagg is he our best offensive package coming in to next season, or
that's what I'm saying. I don't think so. Like,
I think AD is the best, still the best option.
They need
first option,
but they need a point guard, and they have no money.
Flagg can't.
They have no money. They have no money to get one, so they're going to have to either trade Gafford or Lively, who are both on their final year before an extension of positions where they are loaded. I would like to.
Flagg can't be our point guard.
No.
He can't handle the ball the way he needs to handle the ball in the NBA.
Yeah. I would personally rather keep PJ, but I think I really think he's getting traded this offseason. Because Flagg and AD are both going to be primarily 4s.
Yeah.
So.
Do y'all know who's available for like guards that are available? No.
As far as on the free agent market, no. As far as trades, I mean, I'm sure. PJ Washington's a really good archetype for teams that think, hey, like we have a shot at the Thunder. You know, not to just say that because they dominated. He dominated them last year, but like Aaron Gordon, I'd put Aaron Gordon and PJ in the same category. I mean, those two guys.
Yeah.
Those two physical stretch fours have given Thunder fits. So their position is very valuable. I just don't know what you can get as far as, I would like Kobe White, honestly, from Chicago, but are they really going to be in a position to where they want a PJ Washington? Like, they're not close to contending.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't even know any, like, the people that come to mind that we kind of need is like a Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But there aren't like any of those left. Like just a true point guard that just creates for other people.
You know, honestly, Chris Paul wouldn't be awful on that team because theoretically you've got Flagg, AD, and Lively back there to make up for his defensive lapses. Like, I don't love Chris Paul, but I wouldn't mind him being our floor general until Kyrie gets back, personally.
Yeah.
I also hope they trade Hardy for something this offseason. I'm out on him.
Yeah, I don't know how well he's. I think he's maybe one of those that kind of is invested in Dallas, but also kind of maybe wants out kind of guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's year 4 and he can't dribble.
Yeah.
That's true. But just hearing you say Flagg, Davis, and Lively out loud, that's, I mean, in theory, that sounds like such a great front court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in a year and a half, you add Irving to that list too.
Right.
Like,
And then,
the front court. Yeah.
And then Clay, I assume, is your starting 2 guard. Like, you can't help off that.
What's his contract? Is he?
I
feel like he wants out. And so,
yeah, I honestly feel bad for Clay, but now with
yeah.
with
Came
this,
here for Luka.
Yeah.
Play with Luka.
Yeah, the one reason.
kidding, like, hey, you couldn't have included me in the trade back home.
Yeah.
Right.
He signed a 3-year deal that's about 17-ish million a year, I think. So he's in year 2 of it. He says he signed here to play here, and but he's also a vet, so he kind of knows what to say. I don't know what he'll want to do.
Yeah.
I really liked Clay. Like I was excited,
Yeah, I did
and
too.
he was the role we needed. I mean, I don't know what he'll want or what kind of interest he can garner, but if he wants out, I would. Hey, thanks. It was a fun half a year with you here, and we appreciate you coming. But I hope you go win another one too. So
Yeah, same. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I've got. I don't have any more thoughts or questions. It feels good to talk about it to people that know what I'm talking about and not just think it in my head or delete tweets that I want to be tweeting that nobody cares about.
yeah, I'm not paying for that premium for an extra 20 eyeballs to see my tweets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't need to see my impressions, how many people clicked on it or anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I will tell you though, Dallas, this summer and obviously next year, and like we've said the whole podcast, there's hope, but the Stars are legit.
They are. Hey,
And hockey is freaking fun to watch.
it's intense. I had it going on in the corner a second ago.
Yeah, and they're like good. Like
Miko,
And-
not Nico. Miko.
Yeah, that Miko dude.
is muy bueno.
Yeah. So Dallas might be on the verge of becoming a 4-sport city.
I genuinely
even though
think-
2 of them are in Arlington,
Yeah.
but still.
I genuinely think that if this number 1 pick didn't happen, in the next 2 years, you would have seen the Mavericks as the 4th team in the Metroplex. I mean, you can count
Yeah.
the soccer team if you want, but I mean, let's be real here. It's
Shoot, the Wings would be passing the
yeah. I
Mavs.
mean, they just got Paige Beckers, which I mean,
Yeah.
I did my time and
She had like 45 the other night.
I did my time with women's basketball, so I'm not like just chomping at the bit to watch it.
Yeah, I won't be buying a Becker's jersey or anything, but hey, if Dallas is good, I'll support it. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
but they were like, I don't think. I mean, I think we realized, but I don't think like nationally people realized how quickly the Mavericks would have dropped on the Metroplex scale and nationally.
Yeah.
I think the league realizes.
Yeah, definitely, because they definitely rigged it. We've all decided.
It felt like books.
Thank goodness.
Books. It felt like kind of watching Lost when Hurley wins the lottery, or when they start entering the code on the computer. I was like, I cannot believe these are the numbers coming out right now. 1 of 18 that could have been a Mavericks pick out of 1,001. We're living in a simulation.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool listening to the way they do it and all the combinations and the math behind it and stuff like that. That was actually pretty interesting.
So if it is rigged, Ty, it's got to be lighter ping pong balls that just float up there, right?
Yeah, it's that or the
Density.
because they didn't like I haven't seen. There might be one out there, but I haven't seen like an actual list pre-made before the lottery.
There is. Is that?
This is the Mavs.
Yeah,
thing.
Zach Lowe.
Like they could have just said whatever the first combination is, that's automatically a Mavs combination,
Yeah.
and then change whatever needs to be changed after that. That's the only thing I can think of, because I haven't seen a pre-made. This is exactly what we're going to go off of.
Zach Lowe showed one on
thing.
his podcast because he was in the room.
Oh yeah, okay. So I don't know. I mean,
it would have to be kind of like the frozen envelope. It'd have to be the lighter ball.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh, just some like. Well, think of all the like disposal, all the things they have at their disposal though. Like, go hire a magician and do a magic trick, and nobody's gonna have any idea that you switched out the ping pong balls, or they're spurting around in there and moving around. Like, one might pop up and one might drop down. You don't like. I can't tell by just watching it. Who knows what could have happened?
Well,
But I'll have to go look at that list because I haven't seen one.
I am glad.
That makes me feel. I guess a little
podcast
bit
was
better.
good. Hearing him describe being, I guess, in the room.
Yeah. No, he was in the room.
Yeah, doing the lottery. It was pretty suspenseful just hearing him talk about it. Like, just the reactions of all the I guess the representatives of each team in there.
Yeah. Everybody's sweating it out, being like, "Not the Spurs, man. Just not the Spurs."
Yeah, not again. I also, another thing I heard too was, do you think, like we've kind of said that the trade was separate from the lottery, but do you think the NBA reached out to multiple organizations with superstars and said, if you trade them to the Lakers, we'll give you the number 1 pick? And the Mavs were just the ones that said yes. Like, do you think they reached out to the Bucks?
No, because they
reached out to the Timberwolves.
Maybe the Timberwolves. I mean, I could see Ant killing it in LA, but I mean, they wanted somebody. I mean, the Lakers were going to be irrelevant for the next 10 years unless something happened.
That can't happen.
And that cannot happen. I mean,
they've never been irrelevant.
Well, that time between Kobe and LeBron, they were pretty rough.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But still, they had the hope of Lonzo. And
yeah, I was about to say, even then, they had Magic Johnson out there telling everybody that Lonzo's jersey is going to be hanging.
Yeah, right.
Poor guy.
They people were at least talking about
Yeah,
them.
I mean, they had a fun court too.
They had a reason to. Yeah, Brandon Ingram. Like, Brandon Ingram was the next Kevin Durant, and then he didn't really.
Man, I kind of forgot about Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
I mean, but not Giannis. I mean, they needed somebody young, and I mean, Luka is global, and I say global, just Real Madrid followers love him because he played there. The whole country of Slovenia loves him. I mean, it was a match.
I don't think that happened, but it's one of the things I heard.
It was a match.
Like, oh, that might actually
match made in heaven, and I don't know how often you guys are on Twitter. I'm on there too often too. I hate it. But I will say one of the silver linings of this deal is we haven't had to deal with as many Luka stans. And as much as I love Luka, there are some people on there that no disrespect, that are Luka fans first, but to the point where they couldn't admit his faults. And it's like, I'm kind of glad I don't have to read that anymore. Like, will I defend Luka? Yes, but I'm also going to say he didn't take his conditioning as serious as he should the whole year. Now, he was asked to do a lot. So do I think he's a fat pig? No, because he had to do a lot for his first 4 years to carry.
Yeah. And he didn't just sit on his, like, he went and played for Slovenia.
Yeah.
And was making Olympic medal runs in his off season.
Yeah, and I think his complaining was like, "Hey man, come on! Like we probably, this is a whole different podcast, but we probably lost Game 3, or was it Game 3 or Game 4, in the finals because you
We won 4 because we went down 3-1.
That's right. Okay.
4 is the one I went to, and they won by like 40.
So game 3, we're coming back. We're have all the momentum, and then
that's when he fouled out.
Yeah, you try to take a charge, and you've been mentally rattled the whole game. If you would have just locked in mentally, like.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it was kind of like fatiguing, I guess. Like, golly, he's doing it again. Mm-hmm. He's doing it again. But then there were other games where he would lock in and hit a step back over Rudy Gobert, and it made it all go away.
I know, and that's like at the end of the day. Like even my father-in-law was like, "But I mean, aren't you kind of relieved because you couldn't stand those things about?" I'm like, "No, because the good so outweighed the good so outweighed the bad." I mean,
I would take it anyway.
I would take it worse, honestly. Like he could have been a little chunkier if he wanted. He could have gotten more technicals if he wanted.
He's averaging 39 and 9.
39, 9, and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, if he wants to weigh 260,
he can smoke a cigarette running down the court for all I care if he's going to put up those
Let him
numbers.
Have a beer after the Western Conference Finals, Finley. Calm down.
I think Finley was like trying to be like, hey, don't let Nico see that. But that's just me wanting Finley to be a hero instead of a villain.
Yeah, another Mavs guy. Yeah. He's one of the only ones left that is a Mav through and through.
Well, he did go to the Spurs, but we kind of forced him to.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is episode 3 of Yada Yada, the Ping Pong Prophecy. The title of this podcast, the impromptu podcast. Trevor, thanks for stopping by. I'm sure it won't be the last.
Yeah, that was fun.
We have you on.
I appreciate the invite.
You're a lot like us in terms of sports, and you're more like books in terms of movies and TV shows. But we'll definitely have you back on. But as for Yada Yada episode 3, that's all I've got. Unless y'all got something else.
That's it.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, until next time. Yada yada and yada this and yada that. We don't really have an outro yet, so if you think of one,
leave it in the chat.
Yeah, leave it in the chat.
Go Rangers. Go Stars.
Yeah, go Rangers. Yeah, I think they won.
They did. 3-1, baby.
3-1, so they're up. Don't blow the 3-1 lead.
No.
All right. See y'all.
See ya.
Peace.